Hey guys, APGAINS. Quick update, had a really serious back injury and kind of bedridden, so we're recording this from bed. But nevertheless, this is going to be an incredibly important video for pretty much everyone. I don't care if you're 1 million, 5 million, 10 million. Well, maybe not if you're 10 million because your money kind of circumvents the normal rules of Galaxy of Heroes. But essentially, something that kind of was a big no-no, a big don't do this, a big slap on the old proverbial wrist for the last 7 years is now something that a lot of people, including myself to a certain extent, well, to a large extent because I suck, but a lot of people have kind of been not doing, and now is the perfect time to do it. Let's talk squads. So everyone knows that whatever GP you are, you have your good squads and your middle squads and your bad squads, right? And throughout the existence of the game, it was important to put resources into key characters like your top-end squads, your mid-end squads, and not paying too much to those low-end squads that don't really matter. Why is this my TB3? Oh, we want GAC. Here we go. So here's the dealio Mishmelios. Now that gear double drops, which took 18 to 20 months to kind of roll out, are finally here, a lot of stuff that was kind of frowned upon can start to activate. And what do I mean by that? So previously, it was advisable to, I'm just going to literally just use my roster because it's right in front of me, but this, if we do a roster review stream, would be different for all of you guys, blah, 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 blah. So I have 2 GLs. Obviously, I put resources into them. I have other top-end squads, like some Omicron squads. Pretend this isn't Qui-Gon, but just literally any Omicron squad. Top-end A-tier squads, like a Gas, like a Star Killer, like a Malgus, stuff like that. We have those like A-tier squads, those Grievouses, blah, 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 blah. We have, I don't know why this is there. We have kind of like those B-plus utility teams, kind of like Imperial Troopers and the Bounty Hunters. We have those A-tier versatile CLS-type squads, more utility. Well, I guess this is now an Omicron squad because the Trey Omicron's finally in game. And then some yada, yada, yada. And then we're kind of stuck with all of this other stuff. And this quote-unquote other stuff is going to be different for every player, obviously. But this other stuff offers a very unique advantage to players who adopt this early. Obviously, Galaxy of Heroes, if assuming that you're not spending a lot of money or you're not spending any money at all, is very focused on first adapter, advantage per se. Like if you can use your free-to-play resources to jump on the things that are better than the other things, and you get on those early, you have a massive advantage, i.e. like, farming the profundity really early. We've had the profundity since month 2. It was out, 0 money spent, and that's been awesome for us. But now the new cutting edge kind of meta thing is all of those extra squads that you aren't really using that much. Like maybe you use 2 or 3 of these squads in a GAC. Maybe a couple of them reflects the defense. Now with the price of gear being so low, it is incredibly easy to get these characters up from maybe their gear 5, maybe their gear 7, getting those characters up to gear 10, gear 11. And obviously this is going to scale as your account scales. If you're 1 million GP, obviously a bunch of gear 11 characters are going to be useful. If you're 7 million GP, less so. But there have been teams and characters that are useful that have been neglected by not just me and not just you, but everyone watching, right? Like maybe, for instance, we'll just use my account. Maybe that's this Iden team, right? Don't really do much with them other than just beating Mon Mothma and stuff like that. But it would be really easy for me to get my Iden Versu up, and she is a massive damage dealer. It would be really easy for me to put some oomph on some Coochie over here. Getting GL Nuke Gunray Count Dooku up for some more stuns and stuff like that. Maybe not so much Milf Republic. Boosting some Geos finally at 6 million GP for, kind of my F-tier shit. Well, I guess it's not F-tier shit, but more like my 5th best fleet. Pumping some work into the First Order, for instance, to help boost that Executrix fleet. Pumping some more Jedi because they're very versatile. Yada, yada, and another yada just for good old time's sake. So there are plenty of characters all over your roster that you got to find. You got to highlight them. And you got to just put a couple gear pieces towards them. Get them up. Make that team that's maybe a D tier team. Maybe make it a D plus or a C. Take that C, turn it to a B. Take that B, turn it to an A. If there's a team like the perfect example for me would be this team right here. This team right here is going to end up being transformed into 2 different teams in about a month, funnily enough, but just pretend like the future doesn't exist and we're only living in the present. Pumping some gear into Thrawn would be awesome for not only his Empire ship, but also give him some extra speed, some extra survivability here. Getting some gear over on Moff Gideon would be nice. I know the accelerated rate stuff doesn't happen to gear 12 plus. That's why I kind of talked about that gear 11 threshold being the big point. But if, I had a 7-star Mara Jade, pumping her up to 12, get these guys up and running. A better example, again, like the traders, getting that Newt Gunray up, getting that Dooku up. A little bit of Night Sisters would be awesome. This team is incredibly versatile as a clean up, especially when you're punching up to, we're at basically 6, punching up to that 9. Sometimes you have like one character left, and you don't want to use like a gas or a CLS, which is what you have earmarked for one battle, to clean up one character. Sometimes you need a utility team like a Night Sisters. Maybe this Shish Kebab team right here, maybe I pump them up just a little bit to give a little bit more survivability here. Same thing with the Mommy Mothma team. And then, of course, we talked about the First Order team right here being important for me to get up for ship purposes. And then a myriad of other things and ding-dongs and bing-bongs and other stuff like that. I don't feel like talking for another 2 minutes. So I'm struggling both physically and emotionally, but you guys are awesome. As always, I love you, and I'll see you later.